Hello there, welcome to another video everybody. Today I am going to be doing a ranking of the party members in Chrono Trigger. I am going to be ranking the characters of Chrono Trigger by how good they are in battle for the main story of Chrono Trigger. This is not a tier list about how cool each character is. The characters in Chrono Trigger we all know are awesome, but it is about how good they are for the battles of the game. The point of this video is for fun and to also help people with figuring out which characters make it easiest to complete the main story of the game. This is going to be for a casual playthrough of the game, so this means this is not a ranking for a speedrun at Chrono Trigger. I'm going to be looking at each character, how good they are in terms of offense and defense. For offense, how much damage can this character do? To do that damage, do they need to do double text? Do they need to do triple text? Information like that is what I'm going to be looking at. And then for defense, we're going to be looking at, can this character heal other characters? And if so, how well can they heal? And can they support other party members by healing them, by increasing their stats, or by doing other methods of supporting the party? These factors are going to go into ranking each of the characters of the game. I am also going to be considering how good characters are at different points in the game, with a big focus on how good the character is towards the end of the game. This is because the game gets way more difficult towards the end, and the final boss of the main story is much more difficult than most other bosses in the main story of Chrono Trigger. Now, with all that being said, let's move on to ranking the characters of Chrono Trigger. I am going to be ranking them in the order that they join your party in the game. Okay, so first off, we have Crono, the main character of Chrono Trigger. Crono is very good at all points in the game. He has well-rounded stats, he has very powerful single text, very good double text, and very good triple text he gets with a lot of other characters and party members. Early on, Crono gets Rocket Roll, a double tech he can do with Robo for normal battles. It hits all enemies, and it usually ends most battles early in the game in one use. In the mid-game, Crono gets the Falcon hit double tech with Ayla, which does incredibly high damage. It hits multiple enemies and is incredibly good for normal battles in the game. Falcon hit or Falcon strike, depending on what version of Chrono Trigger that you're playing, it has a different name depending on the version, is one of the best double techs in the middle part of the game. It just does incredibly high damage and it absolutely destroys enemies in normal battles, making Crono very good with Ayla to have in a party. Them two work very well together. They have very good synergy because of that double tech. At the end of the game, Crono gets Luminaire, his ultimate spell, which is very good for normal fights and very good for boss fights. It's one of the strongest ultimate spells in the game. It does a ton of damage, and it's a really, really good ability to have. In terms of offense, Crono is just very good. He gets very powerful attacks. He has very high damage output. He can hit multiple enemies with his abilities. In terms of defense, Crono is also very good. He gets a support spell called Life. It can revive a party member in case they die during a boss fight or a battle. So that is something that he can do to help out the party in terms of supporting the party. So that's another really good thing about Crono. If you look at his tech list overall, he gets a lot of abilities that hit multiple enemies. He can do really good damage. And he's overall one of the best characters in the game, no doubt about it. Alright, so the next character we're going to be ranking is Marle. So Marle is mostly a support character in Chrono Trigger. Now the thing with Marle is that she does not have very high attack power, and she doesn't really learn any offensive techs until you learn her magic and she gets her ice spells. She can get some pretty good double techs like Antipoke Bomb 3 with Lucca, but that's way later in the game. In terms of offense though, she just doesn't do that much damage compared to other characters. Now if we look at defense in terms of Marle, she only gets 2 healing abilities in the game, which is Aura and then Cure. These 2 abilities cannot heal multiple characters, and the only way for her to heal multiple characters is to use a double tech like Aura Whirl, which she learns with Crono, and she can heal an entire party that way. But compared to other healers in the game like Frog or Robo, she does not get a single tech that can heal the entire party, which is a massive flaw. Marle also gets haste, which is very nice. It helps you get your turn quicker, but later in the game, you can get haste from pieces of equipment that give the same effect. Another huge disadvantage of Marle, she gets no ultimate attack tech, no ultimate spell. Her strongest attack spell is Ice 2. Not a good thing at all. Now, let's continue to look at Marle's tech list. Okay, so she has Life 2. Life 2 is nice. It revives a party member for full health. But the thing is, Crono already has Life, which revives somebody. And as Crono levels up and he gets a higher and higher level, he can use Life and he can revive somebody and revive them with a lot of health. Life 2 is really not needed. So overall, Marle struggles really badly. A lot of characters do what she does a lot better. She struggles very badly to fit into most party compositions. There's a lot better characters you can choose than Marle in the game. For our third character, we are going to be ranking Lucca. Lucca can be offensively pretty powerful. In terms of offense, she gets pretty powerful abilities. However, Lucca has very low physical defense, and she takes a ton of damage from physical attacks, which is a big problem. In terms of defense and supporting the party, she does not get any healing abilities whatsoever to help support the party. Her only support ability she gets is Protect. And Protect basically raises one character's defense, and that's all Lucca brings to the table in terms of supporting the party. So she's mostly an offense-based character. She does not have the versatility. Lucca, unfortunately, lacks the versatility other characters in the game do, where the character can bring a lot in terms of offense and support and defense to the party. One of Lucca's strongest double techs, Antipod 3, requires using Lucca and Marle in the party. So if you have Marle in the party, that means you either have to remove Crono as your third party member, or you have to keep Marle and Lucca along with Crono. And in order to heal everybody in your party, you have to have Marle use a double tech because Marle cannot heal the entire party by herself. So that is another problem with Lucca and a bigger problem with Marle. Removing Crono from the party is not a good idea. He is one of the best characters in the game. He's really, really good. So removing him from the party is not a good idea. Lucca's last big flaw is that her physical attack damage is very low. In terms of physical attacks, she is very weak compared to other characters in the game who can do way more damage with physical attacks. So Lucca also struggles very badly when it comes to physical attacks. So overall, Lucca is decent. I think she's kind of in the middle, but she is definitely a character who does have some major flaws, and that does hold her back a little bit, and she can struggle at times in certain points of the game. Alright guys, next up we have the character Frog. Frog is going to be the next character that we are ranking. So Frog, he is a very versatile type of character. He can do damage and he can also support the party by healing them. He is a jack of all trades, master of none character type. So one really good thing about Frog is with his heal ability, he can restore HP to everybody. The fact that Frog can heal everybody by himself makes him a lot better than Marle, who has to rely on double techs to heal the entire party. It makes him a much better healer than Marle. Another thing with Frog, his ultimate tech, Frog Squash, relies on his HP being low to do more damage with it. Having to put a character in a dangerous situation to do more damage by them being at low HP, it's something that is definitely a huge disadvantage with Frog, and it's not a good thing at all. So yeah, Frog kind of has the opposite curve of Robo. He starts off better in the game than Robo, but over the course of the game, by the end of the game, Robo becomes one of the best characters in the game, and then Frog kind of goes a little bit downhill by the end of the game. But yeah, overall, Frog is pretty decent. I think he's a pretty good character for the most part. If you're not going to use Robo as your main healer in the game, then you definitely want to use Frog as your main healer. Alright everybody, that covers Frog. I'm done ranking him. Now we're going to rank Robo, the next character of the game. Okay, so Robo, first off, right off the bat, he can heal all party members by himself with his heal beam ability. That already makes him a better healer than Marle, and he can also heal more with heal beam compared to Frog and his heal ability. You can heal more with Robo using heal beam than Frog can using his heal ability. This makes him the best healer in the game. Robo does really high damage and he has high physical defense. His techs are pretty good. For example, Robo Tackle can be great for bosses in the middle of the game. And his Uzi Punch tech he learns later in the game is great for bosses or high HP single target enemies. Another great thing about Robo is he also gets really high HP. Early on in the game, Robo gets Rocket Roll with Crono, a double tech that hits all enemies. This double tech is very good at the beginning of the game and can kill most enemies very easily in random battles. So that makes Robo very good for the beginning of the game as well. Now, something about Robo is that he does have low speed that hurts him early on in the game, but you just got to remember to give him speed taps whenever you can. And then towards the end of the game, Ayla can use her charm ability to steal speed taps from enemies, which you can use to max Robo's speed stat out very easily at the end of the game. Robo also gets really low magic defense. I would say that's one of his biggest flaws, but I never really found it to be a big problem in any playthrough I've done in the game where I've used him before. The only time it really becomes a problem is towards the final boss of the game, but I still found that Robo was always able to survive even the final boss's toughest magic attacks, even with his low magic defense that he gets. Overall, Robo is just the best, man. He can do everything. He can do high damage. He can heal the party. He gets great double techs, great triple techs with other party members. He's overall an amazing party member, a must-use party member. I put him at the very top of the character rankings. I think he is a must-use character. He starts off a little bit weak at the very beginning, but like I said, he's the opposite of Frog, who starts off really good. Robo just gets better and better as the game goes on, and by the end of the game, he is absolutely one of the best characters to use in the entire game, no doubt about it. The next character we're going to be ranking is Ayla. So, Ayla gets incredibly powerful physical attacks. In the DS version, she gets even stronger with physical attacks. She gets a 25% chance to critical hit with physical attacks at level 24 in the Nintendo DS version of Chrono Trigger, so that makes her even better. She gets very good single attacks, very good double attacks, very good triple attacks. She gets one of the best double attacks for the middle part of the game, which is Falcon Hit or Falcon Strike, depending on what version of Chrono Trigger you're playing. It's a double technique she does with Crono. It can hit multiple enemies and it does a ton of damage and is very good for normal battles. Her critical hit rate continues to get higher and higher as she reaches certain levels and she gets to a higher and higher level, making her even better and better as the game goes on too. Ayla also can steal rare equipment and valuable items from enemies and bosses using her charm ability. This allows you to get some of the best equipment and some of the best items in the game very easily, and that is something that benefits every character in the game basically. It benefits every single party member. By getting better equipment, you boost every character's stats because you're getting equipment for all kinds of different characters. In addition, she can steal really rare items like mega elixirs. At one of the final areas of the game, a dungeon called the Black Omen, there's an enemy in there that can infinitely respawn and you can keep fighting them over and over again. Ayla, using her charm ability, can steal a mega elixir from them, which is the best healing item in the entirety of Chrono Trigger. It fully heals your entire party's HP and MP, and it makes the final boss fight a lot easier and is the absolute best way you can heal in the entire game. Because of how good Charm is and the fact that you can steal so many rare, valuable pieces of equipment, and those pieces of equipment, when you put them on your party members, makes them so much more powerful. Ayla is absolutely, unquestionably one of the best characters in the game. She can work well with almost any party because the equipment and items she steals using her charm ability helps out any team of characters in the game, and she's already really good by herself without other team members. She's just overall an incredible team member, and I would say easily top 3 best characters in the game, no doubt about it. Alright, last up we are going to rank the final character of the game, which is Magus. So Magus cannot do double or triple text, so he doesn't have the party synergy that other characters do. He also lacks the versatility that some other characters like Robo or Frog does, where they can heal in addition to doing pretty good damage. So Magus does have that disadvantage going against him. He's mostly a purely offensive character. He gets one support ability in the game, which is Magic Wall, and that raises one person's magic defense. And overall, in terms of support, he can't heal, and he can only buff one person at a time. So support-wise and defense-wise, he's not that great. Offense-wise, though, he's very good. If you take a look at his text, he learns a lot of abilities like Lightning 2, Ice 2, Fire 2, Dark Bomb, Dark Matter, and these spells are all pretty good. They're all good techs for doing damage. They hit all enemies, but the reality is that Magus's ultimate tech, Dark Matter, if you have Crono and Magus around the same magic stat, Crono's Luminaire does more damage than Magus's ultimate tech, Dark Matter. And the thing is, with Magus being so offense oriented, all he can really do is be another damage dealer in the party, and there's not much he brings to the party beyond that. And you're always going to want to have one character as a healer in the party, and you're probably always going to want to have Crono in the party, so you're going to have a healer and Crono, and then that leaves room for one more person. And you really don't need a third damage dealer, because really what you can do is you can have somebody like Robo, who's a healer but can also do damage as one of your characters. Crono can do a lot of damage, we know that for sure, and he does more damage with Luminaire than Magus does with Dark Matter. And then a third character would be best for someone like Ayla, who can go in the party. She can use her charm ability, get very good equipment from bosses, get very good items from enemies and bosses, and help the party out that way. So Magus is good in terms of offense, but he is outdone by Crono, and he doesn't bring much versatility to the party, and he isn't that flexible. Now keep in mind, if this was a speedrunning tier list, Magus would be much higher ranked, but this is a casual play tier list, so keep that in mind. Overall, Magus is a pretty good character, but the problem is he doesn't really have that party synergy that you need. You really need one healer and then like 2 damage dealers. And Ayla is a damage dealer like Magus in that she can do a lot of damage as well, but she also brings a lot more to the table, and she can use her ability Charm to steal rare equipment and items from enemies in battle. And Magus just doesn't bring that kind of flexibility or versatility to the party. He can't heal either, so he's really not needed in the game. Again, not a bad character, but he's also not like one of the absolute top best characters in the game who brings a lot of really good things to the party. He's mostly just a damage dealer, and he doesn't really offer much beyond that. So overall, who is the best party? For our party, we want to make sure we have one character as a healing support character who can heal and keep everyone alive. Robo would be very good for that because he can heal everybody. Frog can also heal everybody as well, but Robo is a better character in the long run in the game, and he can heal more than Frog. For the other 2 characters, we want them to have a high damage output to end battles quick, or utility that helps out the party a lot. Marle definitely does not have a spot in the best party formation because she cannot heal the entire party by herself. So because of that, Marle is not in the top 3. She also can't do as good of damage as other characters can in the game. Lucca can be pretty powerful in terms of offense, but she brings little else beyond that. Crono can already do a lot of damage. Robo can do a lot of damage. And Crono can overall do more damage than Lucca. And Robo can do damage a lot while also being able to heal very well. So Lucca really doesn't have that versatility that we need in the party. So who would be the next party member that we could consider? Ayla would be a very good choice. Ayla can steal rare items, steal rare equipment, get characters a lot more powerful by stealing the rare equipment and equipping it on those characters and boosting their stacks a lot, making them a lot more powerful. She can do a lot of damage. She gets good party synergy. She gets a lot of good double and triple attacks. She can get good double and triple attacks with somebody like Crono and Robo. And Robo can fill in the spot as a healer and also do damage as well, making them a good 3-person team. Our other characters, we have Frog. Frog is pretty good. He starts off the opposite as Robo. He starts off really, really good at the beginning, but as the game goes on, Robo surpasses him and becomes a lot better by the end, while also being able to heal better than Frog. Meanwhile, our final character, Magus, is good, but all he can really do is just do damage, and beyond that, he doesn't bring much utility or much support or survivability to the party. So overall, the best party in the game has to be, without a doubt, Crono, Ayla, and Robo. You got a healer with Robo, you got Crono for damage, and you got Ayla for damage, and Ayla can steal super rare items and also get really good equipment for your party. So overall, that is my top 3 party members in the game: Crono, Ayla, and Robo. So overall, let me know your top 3 party members for Chrono Trigger. Do you agree or disagree with me? I would be interested to know. Leave me a comment down below in the comments. And as always, I want to say a big thank you for watching the entire video and making it to the end. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and also give me a follow on Twitch over at twitch.tv/Shockstorm. I would really greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching the video, Everyone have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next video.